$15,000 to have her daughter's SAT scores secretly corrected. Loughlin began her sentence on October 30th. She spent just 2 weeks in isolation, both after entering and before leaving the California prison. Giannulli, a fashion designer, is serving 5 months. He's expected to be released in April. Joining me now is criminal defense attorney Adam Konta, along with Terri Austin. Adam, coming right to you. 2 months, short or long sentence in your opinion?
I don't think the length of the sentence really matters, right? In this situation, this is sort of a unique situation because when we look at sentences, the question is it a proper punishment, and does it make society safer, and could it deter possible crime, right? Those are the three questions. Like if you look at the death penalty is not going to stop anyone from committing murder. This case, though, Lori Loughlin, people don't want to be shamed publicly. People don't want to see their dirt gone through, the Twitterverse and online. And so even though this is not an incredibly long sentence, it's a rich person crime that I think will legitimately deter other rich people from taking this sort of shortcut to get their kids into school with this sort of cheating advantage. So I think it actually will serve a purpose. I think this is going to do a lot more for this type of crime than sending a drug addict to jail for buying 2 bags of heroin for 10 years. That's not going to do anything. This could actually stop people in her socioeconomic circle from doing something similar.
All right, so deterrence, I can see that. Now, Terri, often our cases involve the death of a victim, and justice is hard to be found there. Do you think that justice was found here now that Loughlin has served her sentence?
I do think justice was served. 2 months may seem like a short amount of time, but Adam hit it on the head. I think the public backlash and the loss of income is real punishment. So I think it is justice served.
All right, we'll continue to see how this plays out as Massimo Giannulli is still serving his sentence. And to other celebrity legal news, the Tiger King has dropped his lawsuit against the Department of Justice. Joe Exotic has told a federal judge he believes President Trump has received his pardon petition. Exotic, whose real name is Joseph Maldonado Passage, is best known for his role in the Netflix series Tiger King. He's currently serving a 22-year sentence for a murder for hire plot against his rival Carol Baskin and for violating the Endangered Species Act. Exotic has repeatedly and publicly requested the president pardon him. Rapper Cardi B has reportedly settled a lawsuit with her ex-manager for $30 million. The former manager sued for $10 million in 2018, claiming she didn't pay him after her breakout hit, Bodak Yellow. Cardi B countersued for $15 million, saying her contract was unfair. The legal battle apparently is now over. Cardi B posted on Twitter, quote, "Feels good to be free." According to documents obtained by All Hip Hop, the matter was dismissed with prejudice and both parties agreed to handle their own legal fees. And now to Illinois. Angenette Levy brings us the latest on a mass shooting where the suspected shooter is a member of the military.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. Sadly, 3 people were killed. Another 3 were wounded Saturday night at this bowling alley in Rockford, Illinois. Police went to Don Carter Lanes after receiving a call of shots fired.
Within several minutes, the officers were able to locate what they believed was a suspect, and he was taken into custody without any officers firing their weapons. The suspect had attempted to obscure his identification and hide his weapons prior to the officers taking him into custody.
Now, police say this man, 37-year-old Duke Webb, is the shooter and that he had 2 handguns. He's an active duty member of the Army. He's a Green Beret, and he's stationed in Florida. Now, 3 men, ages 73, 65, and 69 were killed. A 14-year-old boy was shot in the face. A 16-year-old girl was treated and released from the hospital, and a 63-year-old man remains in critical condition. A GoFundMe page has been started for the family of one of the victims. Rockford's mayor says this has been a tragedy for the community. The shooting happened in the restaurant and bar area of that bowling alley.
The business district's meetings are actually held at Don Carter's. You think about the really numerous fundraisers that they host for nonprofits, probably one nearly every week of the year. They're hosting fundraisers for nonprofits or donating to a nonprofit. You think about all the birthday parties that all of us who live in Rockford have attended at Don Carter's. They've really been a staple of our community. They're a really well-run, locally owned business.
Now, sadly, this shooting happened as Rockford, Illinois was seeing a tremendous spike in gun violence this year. Duke Webb faces 3 counts of murder and 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. A judge denied his request for bail, and his lawyer said to the judge today that he may have PTSD, but he has yet to be evaluated. Brian?
Angenette, so Duke Webb is in the military in Florida. So what's the connection with Rockford, Illinois?
Yeah, we spoke with the mayor about that just briefly today. He didn't go into it a tremendous amount of detail, but he said that he believed he had a family member in the area. And I was looking through some online court records. Those indicated that he was part of a family court case back in 1993. So we're kind of led to believe that he has some type of connection to that area. But police are saying at this point that the shooting appears to be random.
Thanks, Angenette. We'll be sure to follow this case through the court system. Still ahead on Law and Crime Daily, body cam video captures the moment an Ohio officer fatally shoots a man in a garage. And later, a Texas football player apologizes. Why the high schooler is facing criminal charges for an on-the-field move. Those stories and more after the break. Investigators in Nashville continue to search for answers to why a man apparently blew up himself and his RV. 63-year-old Anthony Quinn Warner has been identified as the only suspect in the Christmas Day bombing. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says Warner was not on their radar. Records show his only arrest in the state was in 1978 for marijuana possession. No victims were killed in the explosion. Nashville officers are being hailed as heroes for quickly evacuating buildings after a recording played from the RV warning of a bombing. The FBI is now analyzing the explosive device found at the scene. City officials in Columbus, Ohio are promising a prompt decision over whether to fire a police officer for a deadly shooting. Officer Adam Coy was responding to a non-emergency call about a parked SUV that had been running on and off on December 22nd. Coy and another officer encountered Andre Hill inside a garage. Hill, a guest at the home, is seen with his back towards the officers. He then turns around and steps towards them with his cell phone in his left hand and his right hand not visible. Coy then shoots Hill. Coy hit record on his body camera 9 seconds later, but a look-back feature captured 60 seconds of the video before recording the incident. Viewer discretion is advised.
Put your hands out to the side. Hands out to the side now. Roll to your stomach now. Yeah. Hey, don't get close. I can't see his hand. Get your hand up from underneath you now. We got a medic coming.
It's now up to the city whether or not to fire Officer Coy. The police chief released a statement 2 days after the shooting recommending his termination.
I have filed 2 departmental charges alleging critical misconduct against Officer Coy. After an expedited investigation, I have sustained those charges. Based on these findings, I am recommending discipline of termination. Some may call this a rush to judgment. It is not. We have an officer who violated his oath to comply with the rules and policies of the Columbus Division of Police. And the consequences of that violation are so great, it requires immediate action. This violation cost an innocent man his life.
Attorneys Terri Austin and Adam Konta are with me for a legal analysis. Terri, the Franklin County coroner just released the preliminary autopsy confirming Hill died of multiple gunshot wounds. So what's next in this case?
You know, Brian, we're waiting to see if there will be possible charges of a violation of use of force. We know already he's been relieved of duty, and there could be criminal charges. But this was yet another death of an unarmed Black man, and we keep hearing about police reform, but we're not seeing changes. In Ohio alone, there have been 14 proposed bills for changing the law, and we still haven't seen those bills passed, and we still haven't seen any enforcement of any of these bills to change what's happening in these police departments.
Yeah. Now, Adam, Coy was a 19-year veteran on the police force. I'm honestly a little shocked he was such a vet and the shooting happened like this. What do you think?
Yeah, that's really shocking because these are such fundamental mistakes. Now, to be clear, what he's being accused of right now is misconduct, not criminal charges, misconduct. And what they're saying is that he didn't turn on his body cam, and he didn't administer first aid soon enough, or he didn't get aid there soon enough. These seem like infractions that we're talking about, where this whole controversy right now going back and forth is not about criminal charges. It's whether or not he should ultimately lose his job, even though the police chief said he recommends it. So my question is, where are the discussions about the criminal charges? He rolled up there 19 years on the force, 19 years of experience, 19 years of answering calls and doing his job. And he rolls up on this particular call on this particular night. He avoids every instinct to follow the protocols, and he shoots an unarmed black man within 5 seconds. There's something so fundamentally wrong about that statement that it just boggles my mind why we're not taking it to the next step and why we're not talking about criminal charges. Yeah, he should lose his job, and I think he ultimately will, but that is such a minor part of what this story should be and how it should be told.
Absolutely, and of course we'll be keeping eyes to see if there are criminal charges coming forward, because there should be here, as you said, Adam. Thank you. Coming up on Law&Crime Daily, why the parents of a woman killed with a corn rake is now suing her husband. Plus, on Officer's Christmas Miracle, why it's all thanks to this bulletproof vest. The family of a woman stabbed to death with a corn rake by her husband is now suing him. Todd Mullis was convicted and sentenced to life in prison for murdering his wife, Amy. Now Amy's mother and stepfather have filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Mullis, asking to be, quote, reasonably compensated. The suit claims Mullis breached his duty of care by stabbing her. It's also asking for compensation on behalf of her estate and their 2 children. Mullis took the stand in his own defense during his trial. On cross-examination, the prosecutor played his 911 call, claiming Mullis was cursing his wife while performing chest compressions on her.
Todd, do you whisper cheating whore right there?
No.
So you don't remember what you whispered?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna play another clip for you. Do you know what you whispered there?
No.
Did you hear that? So I'm gonna play that part one more time. Right there, do you say go to hell, cheating whore?
No.
So you don't hear that?
No.
You didn't hear at 6:53, cheating whore. You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear that word.
And it's right at that, after you hear a ping, you don't hear go to hell, cheating whore.
No.
Terry, there's no love lost between Mullis and I, and to his family, hey, get that money. But I've never heard of a husband's legal duty to care for his in-laws on behalf of the wife or their daughter or child. Does this make sense to you?
You know, it may seem odd, but in this, case, they do have a right to sue. In Iowa, the parents of a deceased child, including an adult child, has the right to sue if they can show that they've had some sort of financial loss. So yes, they have the right to bring this claim.
Nice. Now, Adam, I think you can come up with an argument or two that would be beneficial to the family, or do you think this is a losing battle altogether for them? Where do you fall?
I fall on befuddlement. What is the point of this? He's in jail for the rest of his life. His money would naturally flow to his children. All this is going to do is be an unnecessary lawsuit, which will tie up legal funds that will stop them from getting more of his inheritance and his wealth, whatever that may be. You're trying to bleed a stone, and whatever is there for the kids, you're going to diminish. I don't understand the point of this lawsuit at all. You've got your justice. He's in jail. I just don't understand the point of this.
Yeah, and now that you put it that way, that all of his funds would naturally feed to the children, maybe they're trying to expedite the process, but again, they're going to depreciate some of that property or some of that wealth that he has. I agree. But we'll keep eyes on that. Thanks, Adam and Terry. When we come back, the apology from a high school football player, the move that got him benched from the team and booked him into jail, next. Welcome back. Officials in New York are calling this next story a Christmas miracle. Terri Austin has the details.
Brian, a New York police officer has an extra reason to be grateful this holiday season. The NYPD says this bulletproof vest saved an officer's life on Christmas Eve. A mother called 911 repeatedly saying her daughter's boyfriend was threatening to shoot them. Officers then arrived at the Brooklyn home to interview the family. Bodycam video apparently captures what unfolded next.
The perpetrator arrives. Preliminary looking at the body cameras, myself, Terry Monahan. You see incredible bravery by the officers. You see the girlfriend point out, and next thing you hear, shots being fired. Our officer is struck once in the back. Where it penetrates the vest, approximately right here, and does not penetrate the skin.
Thanks, Terry. A Texas high school football player criminally charged after tackling a referee is now apologizing. Cameras were rolling earlier this month when senior defensive lineman Emmanuel Duron rushed the field. The referee had ejected Duron from the game after 2 penalties, one for unsportsmanlike conduct. Duron is then seen running across the field and slamming into the ref.
We have 2 fouls, both on the Edinburgh High Bobcats. Late hit on the quarterback. And we'll be back.
Duron is now charged with assault. His attorney posted a video on YouTube of the player apologizing to those that he affected.
To Mr. Fred Gracia, I would like to apologize to you personally. I hope you're doing well. I am extremely sorry for my actions towards you, and I hope one day you can accept my apology. To my teammates, I'd like for you all to please accept my apology for putting you all into this bad situation and letting you off the playoffs. I hope you can please accept my apology. To my mom and dad, I am extremely sorry for putting them into this tough situation.
Adam, call me jaded, say, hey, hate the player, not the game. But this apology seems less like an apology and more like a lawyer saying, hey, you've got a weak case, you're on video assaulting this guy. Maybe we should get ahead of this and apologize. What do you think?
I think that could be part of it. But quite honestly, I think, the kid's got no record. He's probably going to end up with an anger management class, community service, and maybe a slap on the wrist. I think this is more about, this kid's a star wrestler. He's a star football player. And I bet he was ready to go to college and play sports. I think this is more about trying to save his image to convince some college to give him a chance so he can continue his professional career. That's my guess.
Yeah, maybe down the line he kind of floats and says, boys will be boys. I don't know. But Terry, genuine apology, legal tactic, or something else?
Brian, I think it is a genuine apology, and I do think it's a sound legal tactic. I mean, first of all, if you look at him and you read the body language, he looks like he is scared to death, and I think that means he's being genuine. Secondly, if you look at his parents, they are dead serious. They look as though they're saying, look, you've screwed this up. You better fix this, and you better prove that you are going to rehabilitate yourself. And so, frankly, I hope that the apology helps to mitigate the punishment. I mean, he's been charged with a Class A assault. He was jailed. There's a $10,000 bond. So I think that this apology hopefully will help down the road.
Yeah, I mean, my only 2 cents is I was a college athlete. I played D1 and D2 soccer, and I can understand what this young man is probably potentially losing with this. So I think apology and some good legal tactics is definitely a good way to help move forward. As you were saying, Adam, this might be something that he's trying to push forward for his next step in life with college, and I wish him all the best. Adam, Terry, thank you as always for joining us, and thank you for joining us here on Law and Crime Daily. We'll see you next time.